Hey everyone, what's up? New league with another deck, but in English this time. I already recorded a league with this deck in Italian, and I decided to record another league but in English because I suppose a certain part of the people landing on my YouTube channel prefer English over Italian, so for that smaller part of the community, I think it is still something that they may be able to appreciate. And for that reason, here we go. So, why Grixis Wildfire with Deadly Dispute? But, well, first of all, I wanted to try something a little different with Deadly Dispute, and blue is one of the two worst colors right now in Pauper. Another reason to play this deck and to record it is because I just needed to find something new or different to being able to enjoy the format, because the format is very, especially in the tabletop events in Italy, there's a lot of Deadly Dispute deck and also a lot of sadistic decks combo. So for that reason, I tend to not play much on Magical Line, also because I don't really have that much time right now. So Grixis is an alternative and a way to enjoy Magic in a more for fun and casual way compared to the other competitive decks. I wanted to try something that I had in mind for a couple months, and that was the right occasion to do that. So basically, I took the base of Giant Wildfire, and instead of playing the green part of the deck, I added blue. And when it comes to blue, there are 2/3 cards that are very good. Those cards, in my opinion, are Counterspell, Murmuring Mystic, and Lorien Revealed. We are not playing Lorien Revealed. Alright, why? Because Deadly Dispute and Ephemerate Insight are just better than Lorien Revealed. They cost less. They cost 3 less mana compared to Lorien Revealed, and they have some cool interaction with Wellspring, yeah, that's true, but also with Sneaky Snacker. I think that Sneaky Snacker is underexplored in every kind of deck can play Deadly Dispute or can play blue, because as cool interactions with the Modern Age and Brainstorm, but in my opinion, has way more better interaction with the Dispute. So for that reason, we are playing a Sneaky Snacker, and the idea behind the whole deck is giving a room for Deadly Dispute and the Ephemerate Insight to have very efficient sack fooders. So Wellspring, because it is just the best target to sacrifice with Dispute or Ephemerate Insight, and then we have Sneaky Snacker, because when you can sacrifice the Snacker, but when you are doing it in your turn, when you have an Wellspring in your graveyard, and you are sacrificing Wellspring on your battlefield, and you are sacrificing Wellspring in your opponent end phase, you are drawing the 3 cards, up to 3 cards, and you are reanimating the Sneaky Snacker. And that's really cool, because you are playing a control shell or a mid-range control-ish shell with threats that are also engines for your card advantage and generate recursive creatures, recursive threat, recursive creatures that can champ block infinitively against your opponent threat. Murmuring Mystic is probably better on that way, on that side, because you can generate a crazy amount of tokens and you can sacrifice your tokens with the dispute and the visual return inside. And by doing that, you are also generating another token. So it's just very free to sacrifice one token or one Sneaky Snaker to dispute in this deck. I'm not playing Snuff out because when I thought of this deck, I haven't considered any relevant life gain, because I didn't think decks like Kuldotha or Madness were a problem or were too much prevalent in the metagame. You can eventually play Campfire or something similar to have some life gain. Maybe we should play Campfire in this deck, but I haven't tried it yet, so feel free to add it if you like it. And then, for that reason, as a removal spells, we are playing Scred and Cast Down. So basically, this deck is very square. I mean, you are just playing 4 copies of every single card beside Spell Pierce and Last Rites. And you know why we are playing Last Rites in this deck? Seems kind of really weird and unnecessary to play Last Rites in a deck that can play Counterspell, Lost Focus, whatever it is. Well, Last Rites, in my opinion, could be probably the best answer in this deck in certain matchups at least. You know, Last Rites has a very cool interaction with Sneaky Snaker, but I think it is more relevant to talk about Deadly Dispute and Visual Return inside. You can draw a crazy amount of cards, and then you can also have a very efficient answer to certain style of decks, like combo decks. This deck is very, very fair. Doesn't really do anything in a way that it is unfair or you know, it's just a bunch of 1-for-1 interactions, a bunch of 2 mana, draw 2 cards, and then there's Murmuring Mystic and Sneaky Snaker. So beside the finishers of this deck, everything plays in a very, very normal way. Last Rites gives you a chance to interact more effectively against non-interactive strategies. So if you're playing against a deck like Glee Combo, you can easily cast a mid-game Last Rites and disrupt their end. In a similar way, Glee plays Last Rites to disrupt the interactive deck's end by discarding all their interaction, by discarding a bunch of dead cards. We do the same thing with Last Rites in this deck. The gameplay of this deck is very clear: land a Nicol Wildspring or a Sneaky Snaker, cast a bunch of disputes, and the Last Rites is a very, in my opinion, great way to overcome difficult matchups that are other way very, very or impossible or difficult. So for that reason, I feel like Last Rites is a very great addition here. I mean, the deck is very weird. You can play very weird cards when you are playing very strong cards like Deadly Disputes. So regarding the sideboard, I think we should talk about the lack of Pyroblast, because there's no blue deck in the format beside Mono Blue Fairies, Mono Blue Terror, and Dimmer Fairies. So just those kind of tempo aggro control decks or whatever they are. So against those decks, usually it is better just to generate more card advantage and kill their threats. So by doing that, you are just winning against them. So no reason to play Pyroblast. In my opinion, Pyroblast is maybe necessary only when we are playing against decks like Jeskai Ephemerate or Familiars or Flickertron, which I'm not expecting to face in 2025. So 2025. We are playing Hydroblast as a way to interact with Kuldotha, and I think it is really necessary in this metagame. We play another copy of Last Rites because I'm expecting to need another copy of Last Rites in those matchups in which Last Rites is good. Only 2 copies of Last Rites aren't enough, but another copy is very clunky and bad in the main deck. So if you're playing against a combo deck, Last Rites is great, so why not playing another copy? So I thought so. Snap Out as a way to interact way better. Another interactive spell against decks like Cruel Ramp, Glee, Walls, or whatever it is. And then for 3 copies of Birth Weapon against Kuldotha, 1 copy of Gorilla Shaman because I think this deck doesn't really have enough cards against Affinity, but I didn't really want to think outside board against Affinity because I don't really want to play against Affinity. So just me being lazy. And then 3 copies of Nihil Spellbomb. Initially I thought by adding Nihil Spellbomb I was able to overcome certain Chavism interaction with the graveyard. So if you're playing against a combo deck relying on the graveyard, or if you're playing against a deck like Affinity which plays Blood Fountain, Nihil Spellbomb is kind of better compared to Gorilla Shaman. Gorilla Shaman can kill your opponent, but doesn't happen so often. So I decided to play Nihil Spellbomb, also keeping in mind that Dredge is kind of moderately played right now, so I thought of having an answer, a decent answer against Dredge, because if we don't have any answer to the graveyard, this specific kind of deck doesn't stand any change against Dredge. So for that reason, Blood Fountain, Dredge, Nihil Spellbomb is better compared to other kind of answers. And then there's also the Gorilla Shaman that can also be very good against Affinity, but not so often. Gorilla Shaman can destroy Blood Fountain, yes. It can destroy Nihil Spellbomb, or it can destroy Mirrored Inlets, but Affinity plays as well basic lands, 1 usually, and bridges. If your opponent plays too many bridges, Gorilla Shaman doesn't really do much. So that's the reason to not play many. So that's so many copies of Gorilla Shaman. There's maybe an argumentation about Spell Pierce in the main deck over other counter spells. I think Spell Pierce has many more targets compared to this spell or Lost Focus or whatever, but maybe I'm wrong. So feel free to cut Spell Pierce or whatever if you want to play this deck and want to play something else. Hope you enjoy this video, and let's go for the first match. Alright, so the first opponent is xmelanx, and we are starting first. Okay, let's think about it a bit. We have a Murmuring Mystic and 3 lands. We are starting first. Maybe it is the right choice to keep this end. Yeah, we don't have anything to sacrifice for Eviscerator Insight, but if we land a Murmuring Mystic and we cast another instant or sorcery spell, we can sacrifice the token. Eventually we can sacrifice the bridge, but it's not, of course, it's not the best target for an Eviscerator Insight. So let's go for draw Super Bridge, because if we draw Grixis Wildfire, we can cast Grixis Wildfire, and of course we can also cast Down by turn 2. So the opponent is on Kuldotha, Mono Red Kuldotha, or on Madness. We draw a Cleansing Wildfire, which is great, but I think I still prefer to cast Down or Spell Pierce on turn 2. Yeah, you know, Spell Pierce is way better in early game. Okay, there's a Clockwork Percussionist, and 1 mana Goblin Tomb Raider. We kill the Goblin Tomb Raider, and then we cast Grixis Wildfire while holding up 1 blue mana for Spell Pierce. So we take 2 less damage. And we try to land Murmuring Mystic next turn. Hopefully to have another mana to cast Mystic while holding 1 blue mana for Spell Pierce. Okay, so we fetch another island. We draw Scred. That's also valuable. We can eventually next turn cast the Dispute, sacrificing the bridge, and then okay, there's a Clockwork Percussionist. What do they have? 2 cards in hand, Reckless Leaky. 1 card in hand. They're not doing anything else. Maybe they're playing around Spell Pierce or something else. I don't know. We're taking 4 damage, which is kind of a lot of damage, because we don't have any life gain, and that may be troublesome for us. Just down. Okay. Okay. It is probably the right choice to cast Murmuring Mystic here, because next turn we can get the greater advantage from Murmuring Mystic by casting Scred, Dispute, whatever. So we play Mystic, Charm Block the Epicure, because we can't really play around any Galvanic Blast right now, so we just hope they don't have enough to kill my Mystic or whatever. And if the Mystic gets 4 damage, it's still killing 1 Epicure and getting 4 damage, so that's fine. Okay. So no land again, but I think we can go Dispute, sacrificing the land. We have a lot of lands, so sacrificing the land right now isn't really bad, I guess. We can still draw another couple lands, and that's fine, because we can play Scred and Counterspell. We didn't draw any black on a source, but we still have the treasure token, so it's kind of fine. What creature we should kill here? Maybe the Reckless Lecky, because it has a strike. Probably, yeah, they didn't add the additional mana earlier, so I kind of misplayed it here. But at least they're not doing anything else. They top it out, so if they want to play something, we have both Counterspell and Spell Pierce. Let's see what happens. Next turn we can go for Cast Down eventually by sacrificing the treasure token, and we still have another artifact we can sacrifice for Eviscerate on its side. Eventually we draw... Oh, there's something. Kuldotha. It's a Kuldotha. Nice. Spell Pierce targeting Kuldotha. Nice. Giga value. Alright, so finally I was finally able to cast Spell Pierce on a Kuldotha Rebirth. At least in my imagination, being able to cast a Spell Pierce on Kuldotha Rebirth is the main what really I want to do with my Spell Pierce. Alright, go for it, my Murmuring Mystic. Next turn, oh, I mean, it is probably safer to just hold 2 mana to cast Counterspell on something they may have, but we are still low on the life. They don't have much artifact, and we can Charm Block their 1/1 creature with the Murmuring Mystic without wearing too many annoying stuff. Okay, there's a Goblin Bushwalker. We Charm Block the Bushwalker. They have 2 cards in it. If they have double Lightning Bolt, we are dead on board. But if they have only 1 bolt, they just kill the Mystic. So it is always for the better to Charm Block the Bushwalker and hope they don't have enough interaction. Right, one card's in hand, but they don't have anything. So we won the bet, and now we wait for the opponent to do something. Alright, my opponent, your turn, and have 2 mana counterspell. 2 island open to cast my counterspell. You can attack to draw 1 card, but after doing that, you don't really have. I mean, you don't really have much to do. Right. They're choosing to attack or not, but it is probably wiser for them to attack because they just draw 1 extra card. I'm forced to block their creature because they are literally an aggro deck, and their main aim is to kill me by emptying my life point. Alright, there's a Nipcure. They have 1 card in hand and 1 Goblin Bushwalker exiled by the Goblin Percussionist. I think we can let the Golden Epicure Soul. Next turn we can jump block both the creatures or cast down. I think we prefer to cast the Viscerator Insight on my treasure token. It is fine to tap 1 island here. What can I really draw? I have only 3 copies of Counterspell, so it is probably fine to tap 1 island. It is probably easier to draw 1 Scred or 1 Grixis Wildfire, and if I draw a Wildfire, it's well, it is not bad to create another black mana with Wildfire, but we can eventually crack their Great Furnace just to don't let them have enough artifacts to cast Galvanic Blast or just cast another Kuldotha Rebirth and not. I mean, if they have another land in hand, they can cycle the land with the blow token. Alright, there's a Goblin Bushwalker, but not without Kicker. And they have 1 mana, Goblin Grenade. Do you really have a Goblin Grenade? Okay, that's fine, I guess. I have the cool counter spell this time, so I can counter your Goblin Grenade. Go for it. They're going. Right, we counter. Noise. So those kind of deck usually has only 1 or 2 copies of Goblin Grenade. So we counter it, we generate another token. Then I guess they're not really willing to attack with the Revolted Epicure. We can jump block with the token. Fire Blast, okay, that's fine, I guess. I still have 1 life point left. Alright, we fetch for black, attack with Mystic and 1 token, sacrifice 1 token with the Deadly Dispute, hope to find something. Well, we can eventually just attack with the token necessary, but we have double cast down, so creatures with East is not really an issue right now. Wildfire, so we crack the Great Furnace. I'm not sure if it is necessary. We can eventually attack with both the flying creatures because we have enough spells in hand, because we can also cast Grixis Wildfire eventually. I think there's no reason for cracking the Great Furnace because they don't really have any reason to play an artifact land. I mean, it is better to cycle with the blow token because I have only 1 life left. I need to find my copy of Counterspell and try to not die. Okay, so we can fetch the last island, I guess. Last trade. Really, really useless. Dispute on the token. Time to draw the counter spell. And yeah, there's the counter spell. Right, you turn opponent. A misaligned drop here. I could eventually cast the Visualizer Insight, but I can sacrifice the treasure token with my Visualizer Insight, so it is really irrelevant. They discarded the Reckless Lecky, and they cast Lightning Bolt, but I have my counterspell. Really sad to not have the second copy of Spell Pierce, but I guess that it is still fine like this. Alright, so we have a lot of birds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have the lethal damage in a couple turns. We need to find another counterspell anyway. Alright, so it is probably not really worth to sacrifice the treasure token because I prefer to have much more mana just to be able to cast the larger amount possible of spells, because I need to draw a lot of cards now to find the remaining counterspells as I have in my deck. So we attack for 5. They're very likely to take all the damage, or maybe they just charm block with their HP cure. But I'm not sure if these really matter. They can still draw any amount of lands on the top deck or creatures. That doesn't really matter right now. Even a Kuldotha board isn't really data brawler. So we attack. They very likely do something else, like jump block or whatever. We cast the Visualizer Insight from the end by sacrificing a bird token, and then we can decide whether casting again Visualizer Insight from the graveyard or cast any kind of creature or whatever. Right now, you know, as I said, I need counterspell. Let's see if they charm block. No block. That's fine. And we go for Visualizer Insight. Basically, we cast an Visualizer Insight that it is free and gives vigilance to 1 token. That's really fun, I guess. Okay, so as you can see, if we want to flashback the Visualizer Insight, we still have enough mana to cast counterspell eventually, because we can play the untapped land, or even the tapped land, and have enough mana to cast the counterspell, spell pierce, or whatever. Yeah, I need to play the swamp. Play the swamp. Tap the swamp. Swamp. Hey, let's go. Go on the battlefield, land. Sacrifice the token. What an engine! I'm drawing cards without any drawback. And we draw another Visualizer Insight. Okay, so we pass the turn. We have enough charm blockers. And your turn opponent, I suppose you can cast another lightning bolt. I mean, oh, they conceded. Noise. They draw a land apparently. I mean, the only reason to not to concede here is fearing your opponent having another counterspell, but I wasn't really lucky enough to draw the third copy of counterspell. Alright, so we are bringing in a lot of removals, so Hydroblast, every copy of course, and then also Rich Weapon, because we don't really have much interaction against this kind of deck, especially we don't really have any master removal in the main deck. After thinking about a little bit more compared to the last time, because in the Italian video I faced Kuldotha but I lost But because game 1 I didn't really have a good hand against Kuldotha, but also because I probably sideboarded in a wrong way. Probably it is better to cut cast down. Maybe not every copy of cast down, but a larger amount of cast down. We can cut that. Probably we can also cut Murmuring Mystic because we already have Sneaky Snacker, so as a proper win condition, if we want to kill them, eventually the game will finish earlier than being able to kill them, but probably Sneaky Snacker is enough. Murmuring Mystic most time is just a late game card. Yeah, we can block them, we can force them to interact with our board state with Murmuring Mystic, but our casting Murmuring Mystic without any interaction is dead by itself, and also it costs 4 mana plus the mana required to cast the counterspell, so for that reason I prefer to cut 1 or 2 copies of Murmuring Mystic in this kind of matchup. So we also cut, I think, at least 2 cast downs, and you can eventually also cut counterspell. I mean, counterspell is good when you don't really have any life gain or enough counter spells, but it still costs 2 blue mana. So probably it is safer to just keep 3 copies of counter spell. Alright, I think I like this end because we have enough interaction in form of Spell Pierce and Cast Down, and we also have a decent start in form of Cleansing Wildfire, or the last turn to Cleansing Wildfire. I'm not sure if we should play against Cast Into the Fire. You know, casting Spell Pierce on turn 1 is good and all, but I don't really have any other play besides Spell Pierce if I play Spell Pierce. So it is probably safer to go first the bridge, that we can cast Cleansing Wildfire on turn 2 and eventually cast Down or whatever spell we have or we need. By casting Cleansing Wildfire eventually on turn 2, will we eventually open whatever kind of play we have by next turn. They're also not doing anything else besides casting the Clockwork Percussionist, maybe? No, they have a Kuldotha board. Okay, that's really troublesome, especially if they have a Goblin Bushwalker, but especially for that reason, I think it is probably better to go for Cleansing Wildfire, and then we are forced to choose between casting Cleansing Wildfire, between choosing the blue for Spell Pierce plus Sneaky Snacker, because Sneaky Snacker can block, but I think it is still better here to fetch another black mana, because with a black mana we can cast Down, Deadly Dispute, whatever, and eventually we can cast another Cleansing Wildfire while holding up the Spell Pierce. Whatever, let's see if they have any kind of interaction or if they have Goblin Bushwalker. If they have a Goblin Bushwalker, there's no reason to play anything else in this turn. If they have a Cast Into the Fire, would be really troublesome because we can play Cleansing Wildfire, but if we draw Breath Weapon, then at that point the game will be very favorable for us because we destroy all their creatures. Okay, that's really surprising why they are not attacking with 1 token. I mean, I'm very happy to have 2 more lives, but oh. Okay, so by not attacking, I can cast Cleansing Wildfire instead of doing anything else, but I'm still pretty much dead here. So as you can see, not having an answer to Goblin Bushwalker is really bad. Well, we fetch another island, of course, and we draw another Spell Pierce, so we miss the land drop, and we go discard the Sneaky Snacker. Yeah, there's no reason to keep this Sneaky Snacker, and anyway, I need to draw Breath Weapon on top deck, so my only change of surviving here is 1 copy of Breath Weapon. Not having Hydroblast here or Breath Weapon is what probably really killed me, and seems like okay, so we finally went to the discard phase, and you know, the opponent can just kill me by having double bolt, whatever, So it seems like the opponent doesn't really like the idea of attacking with every creature. I'm not sure why. There's no reason to not attack with everything. What can I do here? Oh no. 2 damage Galvanic Blast. I have a spell burst. You can Galvanic Blast me again. Or do you have a Goblin Grenade? That would be really cool. Epicure. Okay, still have 1 life. And there's no Breath Weapon. That is really sad. So, Dispute. Draw the Breath Weapon, cast the Breath Weapon, and we can concede. Nice. Right, so I suppose when mana interaction are really great against the Kuldotha, and by trying to sequencing the plays the correct way, I basically just lost, because that point, knowing that if I had known that they had both Kuldotha and Bashwalker, the right play was leaving 1 blue mana open and taking a lot of damage, or just hoping to counter the Kuldotha. But in my opinion, it's probably never the right choice. I mean, it is kind of forced. We were kind of forced in that way, but it's probably still the wrong choice. All right, so I get this end, and I put on the bottom the Ishurator inside, because I think there's not really any worth to keep another draw spell when we don't really have any Coral Spring or whatever. At this point of the game, we can play Island on turn 1, because I don't really have any turn to play beside the Dispute, so we can eventually hope to draw another Island, or whatever it is. I think I'll counter these 1 drop, because I don't really like the idea of giving them 1 extra draw with a Clockwork Percussionist. They want to draw an Island off the top deck! Wow. So, very lucky draw here, because we needed both the land drop due to the Great Weapon. Oh, Experimental Synthesizer. I don't see any reason to let them resolve the Experimental Synthesizer. Synth is very strong against grindy decks, and Synth draw 2 cards and let you play another creature in the late game. So it is better to force this play. Eventually they'll not have the 3rd land drop, or they are forced to cast, and that could revert on their land. That would be really awesome to me, because I have a Breath Weapon in hand. So by having a Breath Weapon, I can force the counter on the Experimental Synthesizer, and for that reason, sorry, for that reason, maybe we will very likely to win this game, because we had everything in the starting end to fight against Kuldotha Reward or a Goblin Bashwalker. Ooh, okay, so we are not missing yet a land drop, and we can destroy all their creatures with Breath Weapon. I think I'll fetch for black, because if I draw whatever it is, okay, sure, I like it. Stunks. If we draw a Sneaky Snacker or a Nickel Wellspring, I will be really happy. Yeah, I should fetch for black, because if we are forced to sacrifice the land with the Dispute, we will eventually still have the black mana to cast another copy of Dispute by sacrificing the token. Sneaky Snacker on the top, please. It's not Sneaky Snacker. Alright, so we play the bridge, we pass we pass the turn, and let's see what happens. We can eventually cast Deadly Dispute as an instant speed, so it is still fine to me. Right, there's a Goblin, Tomb Raider, but we have the Scred. We are scredding the Goblin. No fear to waste Ramelas to kill the creatures. If we have a very high amount of life points, we are still on the... Ooh, okay. Alright, we sacrifice the land, I guess. We draw 2 cards, generate 1 token, and play another land. So I'm not dead yet. I don't have any card advantage besides the Master Emerald, but we have a lot of interaction. Okay, that's fine. That's truly fine. What we can draw here? Another bridge. Alright. So as you can see, we were it was a very wise choice to patch for black. I mean, we did draw another couple of artifact lands, but we did not draw any black land beside the first bridge and the fetch land. So for that reason, we just pass the turn, wait for the opponent to attack, we Breath Weapon in combat, and we're still very happy to have another square in hand. Sure, play the creature. I have a lot of Master Emerald. This time at least. I do really wonder why they don't want to attack with everything. But I guess this is just them clicking creature by creature. So, Breath Weapon, kill the creatures. Let's see what the Clockwork Percussion is. Exile, Modern Epicure. Okay, that's annoying, but we have a discard in hand. We can also draw on a Sneaky Snaker or whatever. Murmuring Mystic, that's fine as well. They can't really attack when I have a Murmuring Mystic on the battlefield. And thanks to the Murmuring Mystic, we can generate a crazy amount of creatures, and we can sacrifice those creatures with Visuator Insight or any other. They're attacking. Okay, I'll block. If they have double Galvanic Blast to kill my Murmuring Mystic, I think that is fine, because they're wasting a lot of resources, and I'm not losing much life. Okay? They're going double Lightning Bolt or Bolt plus Galvanic Blast, but they still lose the creature. And the Festivities, unexpected. Well, 1 creature and 2 Ramelas just to kill my Murmuring Mystic is still fine. I mean, I have a lot of card advantage in my deck. I also have a Sneaky Snaker and another copy of Murmuring Mystic. So if they want to kill my Murmuring Mystic by depleting their hand, I mean, I'm still fine. I was able to cast only 1 copy of Deadly Dispute. I have another 3 copies of Deadly Dispute and 4 copies of Visuator Insight. So we have a lot of card advantage left in the deck. So we just need to draw those cards. I still also have 4 copies of Ichor Wellspring. Yeah, the main issue about this deck is not having Brainstorm, Protein, or whatever cantrip to dig faster. But, you know, more or less the card advantage is kind of replacing the card selection at this point of the metagame. Alright, so 2 damage Galvanic Blast targeting me. That's also time to draw something better than just 1-for-1 or all spells. So there's Grixis Wildfire, that's fine, I suppose. We draw 1 card, we fetch another play swamp. We don't play any planes, and we draw another useless land. Okay, so you know when the divination, the tribal divination deck doesn't draw any divination, usually it struggles to win the game. They have another experimental synthesizer. Hope they don't have another Kuldotha bot. That would be really awful. Red Elemental Blast exiled with experimental synthesizer. That's fine to me. I don't really have many blue cards. There's another Kuldotha. Oh, okay, that's just a Goblin Bushwalker. Alright, so I'm not forced to cast this Scred right now. We can wait to draw maybe another Mystic or whatever. Okay, we can Charm Block with this Knickersnacker. Or we can just Scred the Goblin Bushwalker. I mean, it is both fine because we have double Scred to interact with their experimental synthesizers, with the Samurai token, I mean. So we need another removal spell, so we can use this Sneaky Snacker as a charm block to kill the Goblin Bushwalker. Okay, that's fine to me. You wasted 4 damage to kill my Snacker. That's a really valuable play for me because they decided to. Okay, so they thought, hey, my opponent don't have any removal spell because my Goblin Bushwalker is still alive. So I'm casting for the 4 damage Goblin Blast to kill the 2/1 creature to attack 4 times with my Goblin. 1 mana, Buldarn Epicure. Alright. Okay. Still better than nothing, I guess. Yeah, we can we can still hope to draw something. I have a lot of card advantage in my deck. I hope to find an Eviscerator inside of whatever card I need. Oopsie. As usual, MTG is lagging. But I need more card advantage. Let me draw the card advantage. I wanna draw cards. No reason to draw to fetch another red or another black. Oh, okay, that's okay. That's kind of okay, I guess. Right, again, Cleansing Wildfire. I think we finished the copies of Cleansing Wildfire in my deck. Black. I have a lot of blue. Yeah, black. Oh, finally, Nico Wellspring. Well, I can draw another copy of Counterspell. This more likely. I'm more likely to draw Counterspell then. No, well, I'm more likely to draw an Hydroblast or a Counterspell over. No, maybe. Well, I don't care. I just want to cast the card. Maybe Eviscerator Insight. Alright. So in the end, we did draw the Eviscerator Insight. I can play the Eviscerator Insight already, but I prefer to keep the Eviscerator Insight in end, so I can block with my Sneaky Snacker, and then bring the Snacker back again with my Eviscerator Insight. So I'm not forced to waste my Scred on Voldaren Epicure, or I will eventually force my opponent to cast a removal spell targeting my Snacker again, so I can Scred the creature, the discarding one Voldaren Epicure with okay, they discard an Voldaren Epicure, and we block and kill the Epicure. We block one Clockwork Percussionist and kill the Voldaren Epicure just to do not get any damage, because life is very valuable against this kind of deck. I mean, I don't have any form of life gain like Campfire or what is the name of that instant 3 mana black instant spell that give you lives? That one that excite creatures from the graveyard. I don't remember. Crypt Incursion. Yeah, that's it. Alright, my opponent, you can draw one card with the monkey. I can eventually cast Ephemerate or Insight in the opponent end phase, because we can still reanimate this Sneaky Snacker and eventually attack with it. Alright, opponent, exile something, so we can I can do something else. Yeah. Clockwork Percussionist. Clockwork Percussionist. Alright, exiled a Goblin Bushwhacker. Really useless. We're useless, but I still prefer to have an untapped Sneaky Snacker, so we cast the Bishop Insight in their end phase, and we still draw 3 cards thanks to the Echo Wellspring. Nice interaction. Very nice, really cool interaction. Alright, another Scred. And oh, wow, that's cool. Okay, so we can eventually cast double Hydroblast targeting the experimental synthesizer, but it's still early for them to crack them because you know, they don't have much mana. They decided to concede. I mean, I have a lot of cards in hands. They don't have any lands. They don't have any creatures. They have a Goblin Bushwhacker exiled, so I'm starting to attack. I cast Echo Wellspring, do 1 card, cast a Visualizer Insight, draw another 3 cards, so really easy for me to kill them at this point. I mean, I have a removal spell for Goblin Bushwhacker, so if they cast the Bushwhacker with Kicker, I just kill it. Then I have a double Hydroblast to counter whatever removal or burn spells they may have, so easy peasy. So when you keep counterspell against mono red Kuldotha, seems like counterspell is good against the deck. I'm very hyped by the result of this match. I was fearing to lose harder against Kuldotha, but well, we top decked double birth weapon, and maybe it is probably better to keep more copies of Murmuring Mystic against Kuldotha, because Murmuring Mystic kind of works like Mass Removal by generating a lot of creatures, but I'm not sure if this is the right choice to cut Sneaky Snacker, since it can be both a cheap sack fooder for Deadly Dispute, but also a champ blocker in the early game against Kuldotha. So I value more the Sneaky Snacker generally in this kind of aggressive matchups where I just need to survive until the late game. Alright, second match against Fognano 5. We basically don't really have anything relevant in the starting end. We have Last Rites and Eviscerator inside that are kind of unplayable without any Sneaky Snacker or whatever. So I think it is probably worth to mulligan. Also, don't really have a turn to play because we need to fetch the black. The cast down on turn 2 is just is the only thing we can really do here. So I think it is better to mulligan and then hope to draw something better. Okay. So it is starting the opponent, and I feel like it is better to keep double Murmuring Mystic. I mean, Mystic is good, but they may have an answer to it, and also I prefer to have double Murmuring Mystic. If I feel like Mystic, I think double Mystic can be a very good win condition against certain decks. Anyway, I also think that it's very likely to draw another land or to draw another Grixis Wildfire. but seems like we are getting punished not uh, by not keeping the land. Oh, how lucky, Sneaky Snacker. The seems like the opponent is playing Jeskai Ephemerate, and I don't feel like my deck is well placed against a deck with Ephemerate and Muldrifter, but at least we have a reasonable amount of card advantage. So if we're able uh, to play or Deadly Dispute or whatever, we still theoretically no land. Alright, so after drawing 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, we weren't able to find land. At this point, I don't really want to play around an Ephemerate. I prefer to land a Sneaky Snacker and then wait for my opponent to counter my Deadly Dispute, basically. So let's see, they have an Ephemerate. They scred my Sneaky Snacker? Why? They fear my Deadly Dispute? So it is also relevant to note that by scredding the Sneaky Snacker, they clearly don't have any Ephemerate. They're also tapping all the white mana sources to cast the second copy of Cleansing Wildfire, and then holding 2 mana open to cast Counterspell. I fear that if we don't draw right now land, we can easily concede. Well, I have double scred, so maybe it is good, the right call to fetch the mountain, but I still think that it is probably worth more to fetch another island, under scred. Alright, I'm not gonna play anymore this game. When you are lucky, you are unlucky. So I guess not keeping the third land was the wrong choice, because by keeping the third and top land, we were eventually able to land a Murray Mystic by turn 3, and by not doing that, I lost the chance to do that. Alright, so we are burning out a lot of interaction, a lot, at least 4 copies of Cast Down, because Cast Down is really bad against this deck, but we are bringing in Last Rite, which is instead very great. We are also bringing in some various degrees of Hydroblast, because we can counter Cleansing Wildfire, Casting in the Fire, and Pyroblast, and all my win conditions are blue. But I feel like keeping my scratch could be better, or we can eventually bring in the Snuff out. I'm not sure. I think Counterspell is kind of good against the deck relying on a lot of ETB creatures, and I feel like Snuff out is good only against Ephemerate specifically. So probably it is better to keep cards like Spell Pierce, because Spell Pierce can counter whatever kind of counter they may have. We can cast Last Rites, backed up by Spell Pierce. We can eventually discard the Spell Pierce with Last Rites. I'm not sure about Blast anyway. So, oh, there's a Nihil Spell Bomb. Nah, it's not really worth against Jeskai, in my opinion. We just prefer to stick the larger amount of card advantage and go for a big Last Rites in mid games to kill them, because they don't really have a lot of explosive card advantage like we do have. So we can afford to not have much interaction by having just good interaction. Alright, so we mulligan and we keep it. So last rights on the bottom, because I will try to go for turn 2 Eco, followed up by a Deadly Dispute, and eventually something else. Another Mystic. And okay, we can eventually cast whatever it is, like Last Rites by drawing a lot of cards, but it's still too early in the game to cast Last Rites against my opponent, in my opinion. Alright, draw 3 cards, not miss the land drop, please. I don't really wanna go this card. I prefer to draw lands here. And the cool thing is we can go Snacker, which return inside next turn. You can eventually hold the mana to cast counterspell if we fear something else. I think my opponent is maybe having an a Pyroblast or 2 to counter my stuff. Well, my opponent, you can Pyroblast my Sneaky Snacker, not landing yet one copy of Murmuring Mystic. You know, putting on the bottom my one copy of Last Rite and instead of the Murmuring Mystic was punishing because we draw another 2 copies of Murmuring Mystic, but generally speaking, I think that was the right call. And we are already going for Eviscerator Insight on the Sneaky Snacker because I tapped the mana to cast the Snacker, and I just want to reanimate the Snacker because I'm not going. Oh, we draw the 4th copy of Murmuring Mystic. We had something like 4 copies of Murmuring Mystic in the first 15 cards. That's crazy. I think my opponent is how do you can say it, is very aggressive on killing my Snackers. But if they think that it is worth, well, good for them. What should I do here? I don't really wanna play the Mystic, or I can cast the first Mystic. I think I'll prefer keeping my mana open to cast a Eviscerator Insight in their hand phase, forcing them to counter it, or leaving the mana open to cast counterspell on Lawyer Village or whatever. Anyway, there's not many reasons for them to counter my Eviscerator Insight in their end phase, probably. Because I'm not reanimating this Snacker. I'm destroying my token. They countering my Eviscerator Insight. Are you really countering my Eviscerator Insight? Do you have a Pyroblast in hand? So if they have a Pyroblast and a counterspell, maybe they have any reason to counter my Eviscerator Insight. But to be honest, I feel like it is probably not really worth, but I'm not playing Jeskai Ephemerate, so I don't know what they may have in hand besides Pyroblasting and counterspell. So if they have a game plan, let's just them play that game plan. Oh, it's resolved. Noise. So we have 10 cards in hand, we draw an Hydroblast. If I play a land, then I'll have 10 cards. I will have a 7 cards. So I can I can play the first Murmuring Mystic just to... I'm not sure. I can cast the Last Rites and discard Hydroblast, Wildfire, maybe, the land. We have a couple choice. Anyway, if they counter my Last Rites, it is fine to me because I'm discarding just the Hydroblast, maybe, or the land. So let's see what they are likely doing. Counterspell. That's fine. I'm not fighting over it. We are discarding one card. Not sure if this is the right call to discard the Murmuring Mystic because we don't have any recursion from the graveyard. Maybe it is right to discard the Grixis Wildfire so we can play Mystic and protect it with Counterspell and Hydroblast, but I feel like discarding the land it is better because I can still draw another land, and if I don't draw a land, I can cast Grixis Wildfire hoping to find a land. So better than nothing from my point of view. Alright, so there's an Ephemerate inside. We try to Grixis Wildfire. I don't really want to play around casting into the fire, to be honest. Alright, they bring it in Hydroblast against me because they were fearing Grixis Wildfire, I guess. They have 4 cards in hand. Okay, return opponent. Next turn we can start playing the Murmuring Mystics. 4 cards in hand. Alright, that's an Ogre of Bolas. Ogre of Bolas is fine. It's just a 1/3 card, and I don't really have much interaction. I prefer to... Okay, there's a Grixis Wildfire, so if they cast the Grixis Wildfire, I can Hydroblast it to prevent them to drawing 1 card, or to maybe try to force them to cast another interaction like a Power Blast. So they have only 3 cards in hand, and if they don't counter back, they have 1 less card, and they have a larger amount of cards in hand compared to them. We draw a land, and that's cool to me because we can go Murmuring Mystic. If they counter it, that is really fine to me because I have another 3 copies of Murmuring Mystic in my hand, and then next turn you can eventually play something else. Right, as expected, the Power Blast, and that's fine, at least for now. We are telling the opponent I don't have any copy of Counterspell in my hand, but in reality I have another 3 copies of Murmuring Mystic, and that's the reason why I'm not countering back my Mystic. Alright. Dispute. Not sure if this is the right call to cast first the Deadly Dispute. We can reanimate the Snacker. Okay, cool, but in my opinion it is still better to cast the Mystic. We can eventually cast Deadly Dispute and sacrifice the Mystic if they have a removal spell, and that's maybe cool. Let's see. I don't really wanna waste 1 counterspell to protect my Mystic when they don't really have any resources and they have only 1 counterspell. Right, they're passing the turn. No, wait, they're doing something. Okay, for damage on my Mystic, that's fine. We have another scred. Or you just misplayed. Alright, they conceded. Basically, we won by doing nothing. That's really hilarious. Wow, I wasn't expecting an outcome like this. Really unexpected. They also kept the Scred. Scred is not bad. I mean, you can kill the Murmuring Mystic, but you kill just the Murmuring Mystic. They miscounted the amounts of lands, of snow-covered lands they had in play, so they played that. Oh, another mulligan, I guess. no reasonable start. And I guess this is a cap. Like earlier, no, not bottom counterspell, bottom last rights. We can discard this sneaky snacker, but we don't really have a relevant amount of card advantage in it. Okay, we draw a sneaky snacker, but I still think that we draw an Eviscerator Insight, but I still think that it is better to play first as the Silver Bluff Bridge, because we can eventually Hydroblast something. Alright, Eco Wellspring on the top deck. No reason to not play the Eco Wellspring here. Yeah, I can't play Sneaky Snacker next turn, but I still can draw some island or some swamp. And they're casting Ogre of Bolas, leaving one blue-red land untapped. So they don't have Ephemerate to Ephemerate. Casting to the fire. Oh, that's really... That could be really troublesome. But at least they have one Hydroblast. Hope they don't aim for my Rakdos Bridge. That would be really painful. They're going for it. They have a counterspell. Do they have a counterspell? I draw Pyro. Counterspell. Okay, that's annoying. So we need a we need a Cleansing Wildfire or okay, you're pretty much dead. Not having not having any kind of any other basic land right now, it is really bad. Okay, they don't fear any Pyroblast, I suppose, or any snap. Yeah, Mystic is good against us because we also have Mystic. See. Alright, so what we can draw right now? Black mana source. Okay, that's a black mana source. Should we play the Eviscerator Insight? I guess we should play the Eviscerator Insight. They can't counter it, and we can discard a Sneaky Snacker. There's a Cleansing Wildfire and another land. That's cool. Discard the Snacker. Next turn I'll play the Wildfire. What they have? Oh no, Archamancer. Well, we can kill the Archamancer. We can Hydroplastic cast into the fire. Let's see if they have another. Oh, they already going for it. The only reason to cast into the fire right now is the only reason to bring back cast into the fire is I want to cast into the fire. Maybe we should already kill the Archamancer. Okay, there's a Cleansing Wildfire. That's cool. Yes. Blue. Another swamp. Kill the Archaeo. Kill the Archaeo. Plays Landscape, Cycle for blue. Next turn we can play Sneaky Snacker and sacrifice the Snacker to Eviscerator Insight, and also we'll have Counterspell, so we can bring back another Sneaky Snacker. And we hope the opponent doesn't have enough interaction, because if they have another Archamancer, would be painful. If they have a Lorian Revealed, it would be painful. I assume they don't have any copy of Multrifter because they're playing Ogre of Bolas, and the last versions of Jeskai don't really have enough copy don't really have a lot of copy of Ephemerate and now they're casting to the fire. Why you wanna kill my lands? I can Cleansing Wildfire, there is no covered plane eventually. Oh, oi oi oi. I think they will not fight over it, but at least we prevent the opponent to ephemerate their stuff, so ephemerate can be an answer to my removal spells, so it is better to... and also they can... they have an engine with Archimancer, so it's just better to not... to not fight too much over it, if possible. There's the last right. I can discard counter spell. If I discard the Snaker, I can't bring back the other Snaker. That's really bad. Got killed by the third copy of Cast into the Fire. Not sure if I should play... I don't know what I should do. So basically my mana base isn't really well fitted to play Counterspell. I think I should counter it because they can draw 2 cards and they don't have a lot of cards in hand. They aren't really doing much. They maybe have a lot of interaction, or maybe they have a lot of removal spells. So it is better to prevent them to do something. We can scred their Moving Mystic, but beside that I don't really know if we can do much. Oh no. Wrong land. I'll play the Snaker, hoping they have removal spells, so we can bring back the Snaker. Ooh, they are lethal in 2 turns. We should play the Visual Insight and draw 1 copy of Scred to kill the Mystic Dispel. Okay, you win. To be honest, not countering my counter spell when you have a Dispel seems like really bad. I mean, you are already in advantage, but you can generate an extra advantage by solving your deduce because you draw 2 cards. So the only reason to not countering my deduce is fearing I have a lot of Deadly Dispute in my hand, but I just add 1 copy of Eviscerator Insight. Alright, so after knowing they have Murmuring Mystic, probably bringing out too many removal spells was the wrong choice. As you can see, Spell Pierce was probably a sideboard out because they can generate a lot of cards and a lot of mana. So bringing in more copies of Hydro Blast, or maybe just 2 copies of removal spell like Snuff Out would be probably better. And I just lost because they had a better start. No, well, I have lost when they casted the first Cast into the Fire because I didn't really add enough resources and I have the basically worse mana base at that point. Right, so very interactive and we can try to keep it. I don't know if I prefer the counterspell on turn 2 or if I prefer a cast down or a scred, but since counterspell is more like a late game answer in most matchups, it's probably better to keep the counterspell for now. Alright, so we fetch the black mana because I'll play the cast down on turn 2, but also if I draw a dispute I will be much more happy by being able to cast a Deadly Dispute instead of Grixis Wildfire. Now we kill the goblin, then we... Ooh, there's a goblin Tomb Raider. I think I'll kill the goblin Tomb Raider at this point. Okay, okay. I think they're playing against Dimir Fairies, because I have the Grixis fetch land. They bolted me. Okay, there's a bridge. I think I'll go Eco Wellspring, Rage. And next turn we can play a lot of stuff. We can, well, there's Cred to kill the 2/2 creature. Well, it's not yet a 2/2 creature, it's 1/2. But we can kill the Tomb Raider. We can counter something else. There's basically no room to cast my spells. Alright, they don't have any artifact to cast Kuldotha Report, seems like. We're going for Goblin Bushwhacker with only one creature in play. That's fine. Alright. Double removal spell. That's fine to me. Oh, that's cool, because we can play Scred, Cast Down, and Spell Pierce. And if they have a removal spell, a burn spell, or whatever, another Goblin Bushwhacker. Oh. Well, I can still, in fact, kill 2 creatures by countering the Bushwhacker with counter spell, and then playing Cast Down to kill another Goblin, and I only have 2 cards in it. Kill the Tomb Raider, because it is a 1/2 creature that can grow to be a 2/2. Wow, last rites. They have a lot of mana, so I'm just tapping out to cast my Murmuring Mystic. If we draw something, we can, like the Deadly Dispute, we have a Necro Wellspring. Okay. Do they have a Kuldotha Rebirth? There's a Kuldotha Rebirth. Do they have the 3rd copy of Goblin Bushwhacker? They don't have it. Noise. I'm not sure if it is the right call to cast Last Rites, discarding Spell Pierce, but I have a lot of mana, so there's no other room to play my Spell Pierce here, or my Last Rites beside this turn. We can discard the Drossfork Page eventually. That will be still reasonable. Alright. Well, Spell Pierce, I guess. So we don't even discard anything. Last Rites, but I don't discard anything. And it is your turn, opponent. I have generated another 2 creatures. You have 0 cards in hand, I have a Scred in my hand, and I can still draw one of my 8 copy of whatever it is that it is good against you. Alright, go to 9 life. Sneaky Snacker. Still a charm blocker. Should I attack with my Murmuring Mystic? To be honest, yes. Yes. Because I don't really have anything in hand besides Scred. Maybe I should kill the token to prevent them to casting Goblin Grenade, but they did not have any grenade earlier. Reckless Impulse. I think that if they are casting Reckless Impulse, they are not likely to have a Goblin Grenade, because usually when they play Goblin Grenade is because they prefer to be faster. So when they prefer to be faster, they don't have anything like goblin, anything like the 2 mana draw 2 card spells, which unblock both creatures, hoping they don't draw anything irrelevant. Alright. You can draw or either exile something good or something bad. Galvanic Blast. Alright. 2 damage to me, I guess. Yeah. I need to draw something that is better than a Seated Landscape. Black, blue, and red. Deadly Dispute. Cast down. Okay. Okay. We attack. If they attack back, we can cast down. If they draw a creature with East, we cast down. And we charm block. So this is still fine. They can't Goblin Grenade the Vulnerable Epicure. They discard 1 mountain. They attack. We cast down. A lot of Kuldotha tonight. And we generate 1 token. Another Galvanic Blast. Alright. Alright. Now we are the aggro deck. As usual, if we don't draw Deadly Dispute, we don't do anything. Not really surprising. Not really surprising. Okay. Noise. Ancestral Call. Lot of triggers on the stack. It's very likely they don't have any burden spells because they did not play anything their turn, so they have either drawn a land or something they can't cast, like Kuldotha. I think you can yield your turn if you're not doing anything. What are you waiting for? Alright. So we draw 3 cards, we generate 2 tokens, and we bring back the Sneaky Snacker. Much profit, much value. Can you please let me resolve my spells? I think you don't really have anything in hand because you did not anything. Alright, counterspell on the top deck, please. I play 4 copies of counterspell, 2 copies of spell pierce, and in 20 cards I draw 1 counterspell and 1 spell pierce. So I can still draw 3 counterspells. Alright, it are solved. There's another Mystic. I'm not going to play it. We attack with Mystic Bird token, and then we eviscerate or incite the Bird token. Bird token. The tapped Bird token. We combat. Combat. Combattumento. Fighto. Tototom. Tototom. Fighto. Mysticon. Murmuring Mystical. Alright. Deadly Dispute. Marados. It is better to sacrifice the bird token instead of the Sneaky Snacker because I'm not sure if I will play another copy of Eviscerate or Insight or Deadly Dispute next turn. And anyway, destroying 1 creature doesn't really matter much right now. Alright, so another copy of Grixis Wildfire. We generate another 2 tokens and we draw another card. We fetch another island because due to the presence of counterspell in the deck, in certain moments, in certain matchups, we really are relying on giving a lot of blue mana, and we pass the turn. Next turn, we have 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 mana, so we can attack with everything. Cast Flashback Eviscerator Insight. Oh, there's a lot of experimental synthesizer. So, unless they have another Galvanic Blast in hand, there's a Golden Bashwalker. Hilarious. If they have Kuldotha or both. And if they have Bashwalker plus Kuldotha, I can still block everything. They cracked the experimental synthesizer, revealing a picture, so I guess they have a lens in hand. Alright, so there's an exiled Goblin Bashwalker, doesn't really matter, doesn't matter much. And we are lethal in 2 turns, so we can attack with a bunch of flying creatures, and then cast the Eviscerator Insight and sacrifice the Sneaky Snacker. No reason to attack with my Mystics. To be honest, I can still think a little more about what I should do here, because I can still lose from whatever they may have. But to be honest, right now I just need to draw another counterspell because I have only 3 lives against a deck playing Lightning Bolt. Okay, I need to tap another mana. Maybe it is better to tap the bridge. Yep. Because if I draw another Little Dispute, it's still very likely that I need to tap the to sacrifice the token and tap another land. So it doesn't really matter leaving the black mana open, because I still need to draw the counter spell. I haven't played yet land, right? Still losing to Bolt on the top deck. I go for another copy of Eviscerator Insight. Unlucky. Unlucky. Alright. I was able to draw only 1 copy of Counterspell in the first half of my deck, and that could be lethal to me. So, lethal for me. So, opponent, you have the chance to draw Lightning Bolt and be able to win this game. You have a chance of drawing 1 cards by your turn draw. You can draw another card with the blood token, and you can sacrifice the experimental synthesizer to draw another card. It is very hilarious, because if I had Spell Pierce, even Spell Pierce at this point will be good. No! They killed me. Very unlucky. Very sad. This is really... very annoying. There's my counter spell. I had still 4 counter spell in my deck. I mean, 3 copies of counter spell and 1 spell pierce that were able to kill my opponent. That's really disappointing. I think that we also played the game very well, so that's really frustrating. But well, we just need to play better in the next two games. So we sideboard in the same way as we did earlier. Oh well, we can also bring out one copy of Ephemerate inside or one copy of Sneaky Snacker, I guess. Maybe counterspell like we did earlier. Yeah, I think that is fine. We still have enough interaction, and we also have enough ways to win as fast as necessary. Really bad starting end, does nothing against my opponent deck. Yikes. Mulligan to 5 and easy keep. Alright. So I don't the Immortal Mystic and I don't want the Snooker Island. So we can go for Island on turn 1. And then next turn we can either play the Bridge or the Fashland, what they have. It's not a corner solving. Hydroblast is good against Goblin Tomb Raider. So just counter the Goblin Tomb Raider. I think I should fetch for black. So I can hardcast Sneaky Snack here. Well, that's really hilarious, because you don't really wanna cast Sneaky Snacker, but Sneaky Snacker can jam block. Alright. Hey, what are you doing, opponent? Do you also have Kuldotha? Okay, that's just chill lighting on the face. Well, if you chill lightning me, you can chill lightning the Sneaky Snacker. Black. Oh, Spell Pierce. Breach. To be honest, I think it is still better to force the opponent to removal to kill my Sneaky Snacker with whatever they may have. I mean, Sneaky Snacker is kind of bad. I mean, you don't really want to kill the Sneaky Snacker, usually. You kill the Snacker to attack with the Epicure, I think is kind of fine, because I can still draw a lot of cards. Galvanic Blast, that's fine. Scraddle. Okay, we draw one card with Ichor. Land, please. Yeah. So next turn we go Deadly Dispute on the top deck, I guess. And we reanimate this Sneaky Snacker. And then we do something good, I don't know. Alright, Lightning Bolt. 2 mana. Oh, they're playing around like Spell, Pierce, oh cute. Right, you can hold an Epicure me. I suppose they will also attack with the other Epicure and the Lightning Bolt, because you are basically forced to do that. I think it is better to cast Spell Pierce now, because Lightning Bolt deals 3 damage while the Epicure deals 1 damage. So we are basically preventing more damage by doing that. Let's see what the top deck is. Okay, so we have a good card, somewhat. We can counter Bushwalker or Kuldotha bot or bot. They discard one card with the Blood Token. They play another. I'm not letting you resolve your Goblin Bushwalker. I prefer using my counterspell as a removal spell. We still kill the Goblin Bushwalker instead of the older Epicures. They had double Bushwalker, really annoying. Alright, time to draw something instead of lands and 1/1 removal spells. And that's it, something. Alright, draw 3 cards, reanimate the Snake. Land. Right weapon. And Scred. It is really annoying to know that if I cast Red Weapon, I kill my Sticky Snacker. But I still guess it is better to kill everything and then reanimate the Snacker with the Visual Insight killing my my land. Let's go, Red Weapon! That Sneaky Snacker did not survive long. No, why? Really annoying. I draw. Okay. I think it is still correct to gamble by art casting the Before Insight, because if I want to play around them top decking Lightning Bolt, I'm not doing anything for the next turn. I can jump block, kill one token, they draw another creature, so I go down to 2 lives, and that's really annoying. That was a good draw for them. Another land. Alright. As usual, Kuldotha has the Kuldotha bird top deck after you destroy their creatures. That's really annoying. So I unblock, kill one creature. I'm forced to cast Hydroblast on Ephemerate Epicure. Yeah, I'm forced to do that. So maybe it is better to cast Deadly Dispute on my Snacker, hoping to draw Red Weapon. Oog. I can still draw another Scred, or a cast down. I may just kill their creatures. Destroy. Alright. Bolt me. I'll fetch another island. Ooh. Okay. I can still cast Deadly Dispute and sacrifice the bridge to try to find another blue elemental blast or a spell pierce. So just wait for the opponent. Great Furnace, great. I still need to find an answer to the Epicure and another answer to Lightning Bolt eventually. Okay, let's draw. And that is an answer. I mean, I can block. What could be wrong? Yeah. Actually, it could be wrong everything. Chain Lightning on the top deck. They can also draw a Goblin Rider or Goblin Bushwalker, like they did. Very disappointing. Very, very disappointing. Seems like Hydroblast is better than Deadly Dispute. Alright, we can still win another 2 games, another 2 matches. Right, let's gamble this game. I think I will win, at least the overall match. Alright, we have a good start, even though the opponent is starting. We have turn 2 Cleansing Wildfire, so we can fetch another blue, or eventually we can fetch a black or red mana if necessary. But with this end, I think I still go for blue. What are you playing, opponent? Grixis Affinity, maybe? Blood Fountain, alright. So, and they kept one hand. They kept with only one land on the play. Why? I mean, that's fine to me. We fetch one blue mana, and we pass the turn. And my game plan is all... Oh no. Why there's a mountain? Frogmite? Okay, that's Affinity with basic mountain. Should I... Seriously took here? I mean, they clearly have something like that with Dispute in hand, so not casting spell pairs on Deadly Dispute is bad. Probably I should leave the mana open to cast spell pairs and already scred the Frogmite, because by scredding the Frogmite we are removing one artifact from the battlefield. We also play Sitting Landscape, and I can fetch for another scred maybe, because I already have another couple screds. No, 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 no. It's not gonna resolve it. Alright. Now we use the Pauper, and I suppose they don't really have anything much else left. We fetch for black or for red? I guess I fetch for red because I have double scred. No, no. Okay, if you had toxin analysis, you can kill my first Murmuring Mystic, but then I will have another couple of Murmuring Mystic, so it's kind of reasonable as a trade-off, but you know, you need to already have one copy of Toxin Analysis, and instead of playing Last Rites or scredding your Kraken Shaman, I prefer to cast my Murmuring Mystic. It is bad we are missing the land drop, but if they don't have Toxin Analysis, we are pretty much safe, in my opinion. Well, they can still Galvanic Blast and Sacrifice, so Relic of Progenitors, the main deck of a deck playing Blood Fountain. Okay, that's surprising. Oh no, they killed my Murmuring Mystic. But they wasted 2 cards. That's fine, I guess. Another basic land? Right, that's surprising at least. That really surprised me. Well, I suppose that Relic of Progenitors is good against my Murmuring Mystics. Well, go Mystic, do something. Yeah, I played another Mystic after you killed my first Mystic. They're cracking the Relic, stonks. Sneaky Snacker sneaking on relics. At last, we'll be able to use the Gorilla Shaman in my sideboard. What do you have on a cast down? The cracking, the tapping mana, they tap the mana, they cast the dispute. The dispute, sacrificing the blood token. Alright, and what else do you have? Nothing. Noise. I'll attack with my Mystic. 1 damage to you. 1 damage to you. 4 cards in hand. They haven't played any Caracal Shaman. They're very likely to have in end a lot, something like another Dispute. Maybe it is the right call to cast another copy of Mystic. So next turn we can eventually cast a Bisharator Insight or a Sneaky Snake, whatever. As you can see, fetching for the basic mountain wasn't the right call. Maybe I shouldn't even play the basic mountain in this deck because it is more annoying than helpful. Alright, so we are bringing in the Corolla Shaman, that's for sure. And I don't really know what I do need in this matchup. I don't know if Counterspell is good, probably not. We can board out all my counterspells. It costs 2 mana to interact with, I don't know, cards that probably don't want to kill. Probably you can also board out some Scratch or Cast Down. Scratch is very bad probably because we need to kill as fast as possible the Mirror Enforcers, but then we have a Sneaky Snaker and Warrior Mystic to chump block a lot. We bring in Nihil Spellbomb to prevent them to get advantage from the Blood Fontaine, and I think we also bring in Atlesta Kupol Hydroblast. I'm not sure if I want to bring in my third copy of Last Rites, and I think we can value Last Rites as an alternative to Counterspell to be more effective against their interaction, because we can cast Last Rites and discard more answers or more creatures or more card advantages. So basically, when you play Bisharator Inside Deadly Dispute, Last Rites is much better compared to Counterspell because it's more proactive and we can use the mana in a better way compared to casting Counterspell. Also, the mana fix in this deck is kind of lacking. Well, we have Deadly Dispute, but we don't really play Counterspell as an early game answer most times. So we mulligan again, and no reason to mulligan this end. Cleansing Wildfire is good. Maybe we should keep the Mystic and put down the Nihil Spellbombs. I'm not sure about Cast Down. If they have an answer to Mystic, I want to Cast Down. So I put on the bottom the Spell Bombs because by themselves they don't answer my opponent game blab. What they have? Unexpected. Well, goodbye, Grixis Wildfire. Yeah, there's no reason to discard my cast down. Lol. This is really weird. We can fetch for another island because we can play both Mystic and Hydroblast or double Spell Pierce or whatever in the same turn. Island. And we already have double black. There's another blue munitions. It is really unexpected. Oh, they played around my Gorilla Shaman by not having any Mirrodin lands on play. Alright. I guess I should play the Murmuring Mystic here. Because I can't really do anything else besides playing the Mystic. Alright, cast down my Mystic. I think I'll play the Bridge and sacrifice the Bridge with Deadly Dispute. I prefer the black lands over the bridge, the Izzat Bridge, because I'm not playing any more Counterspell in the post sideboard. Wow, a lot of lands. I think is not the right call to cast Gorilla Shaman if they don't have any artifact that they can destroy. Alright, there's our Nuclear Wellspring. Mountain. And there's no reason to cast Gorilla Shaman yet. Oh, okay, I can discard the Mountain to to refurbish a familiar. Finally, a good use for the basic Mountain in this deck. So we already lost one copy of Mystic. Alright, discard my cast down. They bring in a lot of Duras, but beside last rights, what they can early discard, Little Dispute. I mean, basically my cast does the same thing. Every cast I play does the same thing. I suppose these last rights doesn't really do much right now. Another basic land? What kind of affinity we are playing? This is really surprising. Mirror Enforcer. I can play cards. This is the first time I see Affinity tapping 4 mana to cast Mirror Enforcer, to be honest. That's really weird. Maybe I should play the Gorilla Shaman to chump block the Enforcer, and then cast the Visualizer inside to block, to sacrifice the Gorilla Shaman. Anyway, it is very likely that we'll sacrifice the Gorilla Spring Domination to ping my Gorilla Shaman. To be honest, I don't really see Munition such as good card. I don't see it good against a deck like mine, but well, they don't really have enough artifact lands on the battlefield. Right, you can sacrifice you can kill my Gorilla Shaman with Munition. I'm waiting for it. Well, what is happening? Opponent doesn't know what it... That is really unexpected. Oh well, I guess I'll eat my Gorilla Shaman. In a way or in another, I was able to effectively prevent for damage with the Gorilla Shaman. I wasn't expecting to get Galvanic blasted, but well, it happened. Okay, let's try playing the Sneaky Snacker. So we can sacrifice the Snacker with the flashback from Visualizer inside. And I guess eventually chump block the Mirror Enforcer. To be honest, I'm expecting one ping from the Munition on my Snacker, but it doesn't really matter. I can still sacrifice it. And reanimate it. Alright, that's the answer to Munition. Well, they can still kill it, but that doesn't really matter because they can... Alright, I'm dead. Double Galvanic Blast, Munition, the powerful Munition. Maybe I should play it around the second copy of Galvanic Blast, but I'm just... I just don't really care. I mean, I've lost to the Mulligan to 5. into duress, cast down, etc. So let's try to win game 3 and whether oh well, there's no reason to change my mulligan, I guess. Maybe I don't need that many copy of Nihil Spellbomb, and maybe I don't even need the last rites, since they don't really wanna grind out if they're not playing the blue. Anyway, so we can keep all the scraps beside one copy, and we have more interaction to their game plan, to their aggro game plan, and yeah. Maybe Last Rites is not good against Grixis Affinity if we play this deck. If we play something like Glee combo, of course, Last Rites is very strong because Affinity is playing the role of a control deck in that matchup. But in this matchup, it is very likely for Affinity to be the aggressive deck. So by thinking of Affinity as an aggro deck, it is better to not cut that many answer. Alright, I suppose this is a cap. We have the Gorilla Shaman, we have the Sneaky Snacker, we have a Deadly Dispute and the Ephemerate inside. So we can play the Gorilla Shaman, sacrifice some land, or eventually cast Sneaky Snacker and sacrifice the Snacker to Deadly Dispute and get the infinite card advantage. I can destroy that land. I can effectively destroy that land. And it is really surprising that whenever I'm drawing the basic mountain, I'm always disappointed by it, but oh wow, that's a really strong Gorilla Shaman. Yeah, okay, cool. Right, last match of this league, we're still, ooh, that's a really good, and to be honest, they wrote something in the chat. Alright, we go for Sneaky Snake here, or Eco Springer by turn 2, and then eventually we go for Dispute the third turn. So it's probably better to cast Eco Spring. Yeah. Bridge. I guess Ecor is better than Sneaky Snaker because I want to don't miss my land drops. And I eventually prefer to draw one Cleansing Wildfire to not miss my land drops. It is cool that the Dispute also create a treasure token, so it's kind of generating mana, but anyway, I still prefer having more land drops because the Deadly Dispute can be played only one time. I mean, the treasure token can be... Ay. What should I do here? Tap the land, Dispute in hand. So I am tapped with 4 mana and I can play Mystic. Yeah, that's cool. That's good. Let's go for it. Dispute in their end phase and cast Mystic, hoping they don't have cast down. Island Forest. What is it? Sacrifice the Ecor. Well, I will not miss the land drops, I guess. Alright. What is happening here? I can play the Ecor Wildspringer. And play a top of the land. So I'm discarding this Sneaky Snacker, and then... Yep. And then next turn I can play Mystic with 2 mana open to cast a counter spell, so I can protect my Murmuring Mystic. That seems kind of good. Another Deadly Dispute. Wow. We have a lot of card advantage. Nice. Really nice. Mystic. Pass the turn. They don't have cast down. I don't know what my opponent is playing, but alright. Avenging Hunter. Okay. I can let the Avenging Hunter resolve and cast Deadly Dispute in end. And then I can draw cast down and keep my counter spell for something else. To be honest, it is probably not the right play, but I think that being able to steal in their initiative is kind of better than as a win condition that oh, we did draw the cast down. Alright. Because if we steal the initiative, we can easily win the game on the spot. Kill the initiative, generate another token, attack for 4 damage. I can also play another copy of Sneaky Snaker if necessary. Should I play another Snaker? I think I'll play another copy of Snaker. And I'm picking another swamp. Snaker. Island. You can go. I have a lot of flying creatures right now. I can forge my Mystic, or I can forge my Sneaky Snaker. What I have in hand? Bleak Coven. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's really surprising. I'll forge my Mystic maybe. I think I'm forging 1 token. Big chunky token. Wildfire. I love casting Grixis Wildfire. Oops. Wrong land, but I can still play the swamp. Yeah, I think it is better to play the swamp because if I draw 1 Scred, I can kill my opponent's creatures. So attack with everything, I guess. Everything beside the Goldberg Mystic. Very big token. Swamp. Your turn. I can block with my token and then sacrifice it with the Dispute. I'm not blocking with the Mystic just because I do want to play around Galvanic Blast on Mystic. I don't want to play Counterspell to counter the Galvanic Blast. I mean, I can use in a better way my Counterspells. Anyway, seems like we won the bet by letting the Avenging Hunter solve instead of countering it, but I still have a lot of creatures, so for that reason it is still safe to say that I'm just going better than my opponent. They're casting something, another creature. What is it? Oh, that's unexpected. That's really unexpected. Yeah, well, anyway. End phase, Dispute, sacrificing 1 bird token. So basically it's a sort of free Deadly Dispute because we are generating again the card we are sacrificing. They are killing my token. Okay, I think that it was fine. We are still lethal in something like 3 turns. I can cast one removal spell to kill the Outing Mandrills. If I draw another removal spell, I can kill us the Bleakoven Vampire as well. Ah, well, there's the trap. I forgot about that. Yeah. I wasn't really paying attention to the initiative of her stealing it. So they have 7 life. And we are killing the mandrills. Yeah, we're killing the Bleakoven Vampire to kill them. No, there's no reason. 2, 4, 7. They're still little. Stumps. Easy peasy. Alright. So we are playing against some sort of giant wildfire deck with Outing Mandrills, Bleakoven Vampire. I think Bleakoven Vampire is a really cool card, and they played it as well in this deck, but that was 4 years ago. Maybe we should bring in the Snap out over Last Rites. Not sure about Hydroblast. We can counter Cleansing Wildfire. Maybe Spell Pierce is bad and Hydroblast is good. So we bring in a couple Hydroblast. Yeah, I don't really know what I should bring in. Maybe 1 copy of Snap out and 3 copies of Hydroblast. Can board out one. Yeah, we can board out 1 counter spell. Maybe it's just overcosted. We bring in 3 copies of Hydroblast and 1 copy and 2 copies of Snuff Out. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. Counterspell is clunky against this deck. It's cool to be able. It is cool to be able to counter the initiative, but as you can see, it is very clunky card. Right. That's cool. That's really cool. We can put on the bottom Scred or Counterspell, but I prefer to keep the Counterspell because it is easier to find 1 blue mana source over another 2 Snow Crocodile Lions. So we play first the Bridge, then the Sneaky Snacker, and then we sacrifice the Sneaky Snacker with Visual Insight. Turn 2, Bug and Forest, followed up by Bastard's Curse. This may be really bad to me. I don't really have any answer to Bastard's Curse, and my win condition is Murmuring Mystic. Oh, Jesus. Wow. I'm probably gonna die from Bastard's Curse, and that is really weird. Cast down my Sneaky Snacker, but we draw another Sneaky Snacker. Whatever. Fetch for blue. Next turn I can... oh, well, maybe wasn't the right choice to play the Sneaky Snacker, because they can kill again this Sneaky Snacker, and then I can't fetch, I can't Eviscerate or Insight my Snacker. But I prefer to have 2 blue mana open next turn to cast Counterspell. Alright, there's no removal spell on my Snacker, so I can attack for 2 and then draw 2 cards and reanimate 2 Snackers and get 2 damage, so I basically am not dealing damage this turn. I can play first an island, because I'm still willing to leave 2 mana open to cast Counterspell. And now I can deal 4 damage per turn. And then I probably should aggressively counter whatever they may have. Yeah, I'm taking 2 damage from the Passer's Curse. Maybe I should play some form of life gain like Campfire in this deck, because losing to Passer's Curse is very annoying. Also, as you were able to see, decks like Kuldotha aren't really great as matchup. I wasn't expecting Kuldotha to be much easier because I have Hydroblast, I have Breath Weapon, but it seems like I can still lose to some sort of... Alright, there's a Birding Party. Oh, okay. I'll counter the Birding Party and let the Avenging Counter resolve because I have a cast down in hand. So I steal the initiative, and then I can do some extra damage in certain ways. Alright. I also should attack with only 1 Snaker, I guess. So I can keep... well, I draw an Hydroblast, right? So if I cast Snaker, I can also cast down and leave the mana open to cast Hydroblast. I need 5 mana. And I play the Swamp. Yep, that's cool. Alright. Attack with everything. We can simply Hydroblast the Birding Party if they have another one. And if they play Artifact lands, they may have some sort of Data Dispute or similar. So it is better. I can fetch another island because maybe there will be a turn where I'm having double Counterspell. I play the Swamp. Play the Cast Down. And I play around Data Dispute on Avenging Counter. And then finally I play a Sneaky Snacker to have another creature to block eventually. Or to just deal extra damage. That's fine as well. They have a Mountain. And they're casting 4 mana. What they're doing... they're doing nothing. Also, I should play around Rating Chrysalis by bringing extra Snuff outs. I can't Hydroblast everything Chrysalis. And I can't attack with my Snakers. Losing a Teacher Passer's Curse is truly unexpected. No. It's not gonna resolve. I mean, I still think that it is better to have the Snakers on the battlefield. I can still draw a removal spell. I think it is better to go for Forge. I can eventually double block the Chrysalis. Another land. We go for the safe route by drawing some extra lands. Oh well. I guess I need another black mana source right now. Go, my opponent. Well, I can eventually also jump block Birding Party with my Giga plus sized Sneaky Snacker. One cut in end. They are attacking with a Greeting Chrysalis. They can make the Chrysalis a 4/5 creature. So I suppose it is worth to double block. They can kill both my Snackers, but I'll eventually be the only one with a creature, with a relevant creature, the battlefield, because they're also as well sacrificing their spawns. So it is fine to me. What is happening? They have a removal spell. The Glimmer. Okay, that's fine. I wasn't expecting the Glimmer, but in the end, it didn't do anything relevant. Alright, trap. 5 damage to you. Aha, I'm winning the race. Oh no, Grixis Wildfire. Alright, we Wildfire the bridge. If I draw an Eco Royal Spring, I can reanimate my Sneaky Snacker. Or another Cleansing Wildfire. Scred. I have 5 lands, so I don't see any reason to not play another bridge and attack. Next turn I draw an extra card, and I need to put pressure because there's a Trapaster's Curse on the battlefield. Oh, great. Now I understand that I should play green to play Avenging Hunter. I can't wait to play the Murmuring Mystic with the ultimate, the last room of the Undercity. That would be really crazy. Snuff out. Alright though. Have enough answers for danger threats, and Sneaky Snacker won the game. Murmuring Mystic, Murmuring Mystic, Mystic, Murmuring Mystic, 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 Murmuring Mystic. Well, I guess I'll play Mystic. Hola. 4/8. Big. I can attack, sacrifice this Necker. Alright, I'm taking something like 4 damage by playing the Dispute, but I have enough power on the battlefield to not lose too much by doing this play, in my opinion. Well, actually, I can just sacrifice my lands instead of sacrificing my Snakers. But I'm greedy. And I draw another counterspell, so we go for Cleansing Wildfire. Should I go for Cleansing Wildfire? I suppose so. Alright, I can take only 7 damage before dying from whatever it is. Last lands of the deck. Eco Wellspring. I can play Eco Wellspring. I think yes, I can play the Eco Wellspring. I have a lot of creatures, and I think I'm lethal in 2 turns. Let's go, opponent. I don't have any lands left in my deck, so I can't fetch another land with the initiative. That's hilarious. What is it? If it is a Generous. Oh. It's not gonna happen. I don't want you to get another 7 life. I'm not sure if I should kill my Mystic. But I can still deal some damage with the initiative room. There's another Mystic. I can't play it. Playing Mystic here means losing. Another Mystic. Attack with everything. Lot of damage. Deals a lot of damage. Right. I can put another 2 counters on my Mystic in the next turn. What is it? Not Black Omen Bumper. Okay, that's a Junior Sand. Alright, let me think. There's nothing much to think here. I'm still lethal. We're forging the Mystic. Oh wait, I should not yield because they have a 1 card in hand. They can cast. Oof, that's only a Galvanic Blast. Alright. Yeah, it's better to cast the Galvanic Blast. Imagine losing to Thrusters Curse plus Burst Weapon. That would be really brutal. I'm taking a lot of damage, but I'm still winning a race. That's really awesome. You know, if you attack with the Bird Illusion token 3 times, you are basically negating their life gain. So that was kind of the game plan all along. Alright, Trapasse's curse wasn't enough. And we won the bet against the time. Noise. Stunks 3-2. Noise. They can get 3 lives with the food token, but we have a Murmuring Mystic, very chunky Mystic, 7-11. 7-11, like the supermarket. Easy peasy. Noise. Oh, very big. Yeah, right. So in the end, I'm pretty confident with this Decklist. I feel like we are only missing by not having enough answers to Kuldotha. Not the card by itself, because we have Burst Weapon and Hydroblast, but the whole strategy of the deck. So I think a couple of Campfire is probably worth, maybe even main deck, because the amount of resources of this deck is very limited. I mean, we have Mystic and Sneaky Snacker that generate a lot of resources, so, you know, it is not necessary to have any recursion from the graveyard, but maybe it is worth to have a Campfire just to get lives and eventually shuffle your graveyard in your deck if you need another if you need another if you need again to draw your removal spells, but it seems kind of pointless to how to say it, kind of pointless to hope to be able to draw with every card you are shuffling your deck. Yeah, you can draw your scred if you have a campfire, but if you are so late in the game that that you are able to get some kind of advantage from cracking your campfire, probably in a deck featuring 4 copies of Murmuring Mystic, you are probably so ahead of the game that you are already winning. Just to say, right now I won against Atrapaster's Curse, bring it in against my deck specifically to counter Murmuring Mystic, and that was the right call. But at the same time, my Murmuring Mystic was able to overcome the damage and the life gain from the Atrapaster's Curse, because I generated that many advantages thanks to the initiative, and also thanks to the Murmuring Mystic, and also by having the counter spells as backup in response to any kind of remove spells, that I was able to win the game against Giant Wildfire. So this deck, it is really clunky. Maybe it is not right deck to play counterspell, but there aren't many answers good as counterspell in especially in the blue color or in even other colors. So we are playing the best answer as removal spells we can play. We can also play the best counterspell we can play, and we are playing just 8 true blue mana sources alongside 4 fetch lands, so we have 12 blue mana sources and 4 copies of Grixis Wildfire and 4 copies of Deadly Dispute. So as you can see, counterspell in this deck, it is very greedy, but it works because we have Dispute and of course because we have Grixis Wildfire. So my main issue, or the main thing I was worried about, is not being able to cast counterspell as a card due to the mana cost, the very specific mana cost. But in reality, counterspell is kind of decent when it is good, or rather it is good and affordable in those matchups in which we need the counterspell. But in those matchups against which counterspell is not relevant, we can easily burn out the counterspell to bring in better answers. Last Rites did nothing relevant at all in this league, but it worked really well in another couple leagues I played. I played a league without recording it, in which I went 4-0 into losing the last match, so almost a trophy on Magic Line. And I faced Poison Storm as a first match, and against Poison Storm I won 2-1, and in each game I played Last Rites and discarded the wall end of my opponent, and Last Rites almost won me the game 1 and easily won me the last 2 games. So I lost the game 1 against Poison Storm actually due to the top deck of Deep Analysis, but without that top deck and without me drawing only the bad parts of my deck, even that game 1 would eventually be an easy win. So it is really surprising, but Last Rites, it isn't really surprising, but Last Rites alongside the Disputed Eviscerator Insight is really strong. Also, we can do the really cool combo Snaker Last Rites. Doesn't really happen so often, but it's still cool. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you were able to appreciate this very clanky and weird dispute deck like I do. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you found the dialogue, my pronunciation, whatever it is, affordable. I mean, understandable. But you know, I'm just trying to enjoy recording the video, even if it's not my first language, the English language.